Mhm.
Hi,
Hi, how are you doing?
good. How are you?
Fine. How's your day going on so far?
I pretty much just woke up and hopped on here, so it's been a good day.
And what plans do you have like for today?
I have a rehearsal for a play that I'm currently in, and then my mom comes into town tomorrow, so I'm gonna clean my house, and then I'm gonna go to work tonight.
And do you have plans for the weekend?
Yeah, so my mom's gonna be in town, so we're gonna be hanging out some. My baby cousins are in a play in Santa Barbara, so we're gonna drive down to Santa Barbara for the day, and then I actually booked a 3-day gig this weekend, so I'll be doing that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday too. So it'll be a busy
Wow.
weekend.
And for summer, do you plan like to rest or you're just
I'm
like
gonna take a nap hopefully before tonight.
and for the holiday season, like this summer, are you planning to go somewhere or you just gonna keep working?
Mostly people are coming to visit me this summer, which is really nice because I've taken a few trips throughout the year. But I've got my parents are visiting again in June, and then my best friend's coming in June. So yeah, I'll go to upstate New York in August, but for the most part, I'll be here.
And where are you like right now, Los Angeles
Yeah,
or?
I'm in Hollywood.
Well, wow, wonderful. And where did you born? Are you from Hollywood or?
No, I'm from Texas.
And what's something you miss the most of Texas?
Um, Pretty really just my family and friends. I'm like I could say the food or whatever, but I think LA has better food. I think it's the family and my friends.
And when it comes to the weather, which one do you love like the most?
LA, Texas.
LA?
Texas is just as hot, if not hotter, but it's humid, so it like sticks to you.
Oh,
In LA,
mhm.
which is nice.
It can be uncomfortable. And now that you're mentioning your family and friends, what's the usual reaction when it comes to your acting life? Do you show your work to your family and friends? How is that relationship with when it comes to acting?
Oh, I'm super lucky. I have the most supportive like group of family and friends out there. I actually started acting because my mom wanted to make movies like in our kitchen. So, um, and that's actually something we can talk about later is my mom's movies and the projects that we do together. So like they're just overwhelmingly supportive of me being out here, and then I got my degree in theater, so everybody was like, this is so cool, and they love watching my work, which is awesome.
And your parents were involved within this industry, like entertainment one, or where did that came from?
Yeah,
Your
my mom was doing theater when I was younger, and she forced me to do like a theater camp when I was 5, and that was the start. And then she actually also founded a nonprofit theater when I was in like elementary school, middle school. So kind of grew up doing theater and then doing my mom's theater, and then she started to make and write movies and stuff like that. And she wrote a feature that we're going to be filming this fall too, which is really cool.
wow, so cool. And do you remember, sorry, your first project, like major theater? What was like the first one it pops to your head when it comes to
I know the very first thing I did was a musical theater summer camp, and it was Aladdin, and I played Abu, the monkey. And I didn't have any lines, but my mom said that I mouthed every single person's line on stage with them.
um, which one is the last?
I mean, I just filmed a short film a month or two ago that was about Irish, like an Irish Revolution kind of thing. It was a period piece set in Ireland. Yeah.
And if you have to choose like an ideal project you would love to be part of, which one would you love to choose? Film, series, theater, musical theater,
Yeah.
musical ideas?
Like I would love to be in a Hunger Games movie. I would love to be in like Richard III, the Shakespeare show. And then I played Abigail Williams in The Crucible a few years ago, but I would like to do that again.
And also, based on your experience, I would love to know what is the easiest and hardest of acting, like personally.
Oh gosh. I mean, I think the hardest part is like the kind of behind the scenes stuff where it's the auditioning and putting in work every single day that nobody actually really sees, because you're working on it for hours every day. And then the easiest is when you get booked and you get to show up to set and people, do your makeup, do your hair, get you dressed and put you in front of a camera, make you look good, and then you just kind of get to do your stuff.
And if you have to choose like a specific scene that cost you the most, which one would you say, wow, that was like hard to shoot or to get it done?
And anything that's going to be like physical. Like I did a movie called Bull Shark 2. And in the movie there's a scene of me like swimming like really hard and really fast, and we didn't even do that very many times, but the few times that we did, it just like completely wins you, and you have to keep doing it over and over and over again. So like pacing yourself is really important.
And when it comes to the script, what is your method in order to get it done, to memorize? How do you do that?
Okay, yeah, memorizing, I'm lucky. I have a really great memory, and I can memorize a page of lines in less than a minute. It's more like working to memorize just the lines and not how to say them. So like as I'm memorizing, saying them 30,000 different ways. So that way when I'm in it, I can just like be in it and not be reciting the way that I've memorized to say it,
And when it comes to emotions, how do you do that? How do you use your personal experience? You're just portraying the character, and that's separate thing from the personal things. How is your process?
I think it's getting to know the character like inside and out as well as I know myself, and then kind of just living in the lines and in the moment and having empathy for this person that I'm playing, and then also everybody else in the situation, and just being really clear about what my character wants in every single situation. And I think that generally works, because you would be surprised how deeply you can feel feelings that aren't necessarily your own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can totally understand this. Okay, wonderful. And I have a couple more related to your info. I saw you were involved in a couple of music videos, isn't it?
A couple of music videos?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Resume. How was that?
Those were so long ago. I think I was like maybe 10 in them. One of them was for a 48-hour film competition, and we made the music video in 48 hours. And then the other one was like the church I went to growing up. One of the guys made a music video, and I was like in the little troop of boys, because I was a tomboy when I was a kid. So I was like, put me in big clothes, I can be a boy too.
And also theater. What if you have to choose between theater and film, for example, which one is your favorite?
Really tough. I'm currently pursuing film because I like the film industry and working in film and the people that you meet. But I do love to perform on stage. So I think if I could only perform in one for the rest of my life, maybe theater.
And you're not nervous when it comes to theater, because I think it's difficult too, isn't it?
It can be nerve-wracking. I used to get nervous. I think now I get excited rather than nervous, which it kind of feels similar in the body, but I like doing it so much, and I prepare so much that,
And I also watching your website, the Resemblance to Greta Gerwig. Have you ever been told, apart from Greta Gerwig, you have like your resemblance to other celebrities? or just like Greta?
Yeah, I've been told like Jennifer Lawrence and Emma Stone because people think I'm funny, I guess. And then um, also I get Saoirse Ronan a lot, like in my performances and the kind of work that I do. And that's the career I would most like to emulate is Saoirse Ronan's career if I got to pick and choose everything I did.
And a couple more. Do you enjoy watching yourself, or you're just like cringe? In which part of the process are you like right now?
Yeah, I'm okay with watching myself. It took a long time, but I can enjoy it. It depends on the project. There are some things where I look back and I'm like, I'm never watching that again. But there are also some things that I'm really proud of.
And the other one I have for you is if you could give a piece of advice to other persons that are just beginning, which piece of advice would you love to say to them based on your experience?
I think what matters most is how much you enjoy what you're doing, and it doesn't really matter if like you want to make money doing it, that's great, but if you just are invested in doing the art for the art, then find a way to do it and keep doing it because it's so good for you, and you don't have to make it your full career for you to be valid in doing it too. Like you don't have to be professional. You can just do it recreationally, and that's okay.
What a wonderful piece of advice, totally agree. Okay, and now related to your internet movie database, I saw plenty of your projects, I believe. It is so wonderful. If there is one you could choose, which one would you love to? Maybe Crime Scene, Bull Shark, Men in Cars, Ring by Spring. Which one would you choose?
Maybe Ring by Spring.
And what's like the coolest or the hardest experience you ever had with this short film?
This was the longest shoot I'd ever done. And it was like, it was really cool. Like I sent in the audition and then the director writer sent back like a mood board and never sent me the script. So I went into the callback and I'd never read the script. And she was like, so you've read the script? And I was like, I haven't. But I have. So I kind of got like lucky in the casting. And then it was just the biggest and longest set I've ever been on, but for a story that was like super fun. But it didn't have any dialogue in it. It was like a 15-minute music video kind of, but it was telling a really cool story. And it kind of like talks about, I went to a Christian university in Texas, so there's like a lot of the Ring by Springers. I don't know if you've heard the phrase.
No.
It's like kids who are getting engaged like before they're out of college. Which works for people, but the short film was kind of highlighting the darker sides of that and like a kind of like familial pressure and societal pressure to do that if it's not necessarily right for you. But yeah, it was a really cool project, a lot of really, really talented people on set, and it was just like in Waco, Texas, which was really cool. And then I actually moved to LA because the director-writer of that and I became super good friends, and she was like, I have an extra bedroom, you should move in LA. And I was like, okay, cool. So,
I mean, okay.
Yeah, that's like the
Wow.
project that I think has changed my life more than anything. Even if it's like, you know, not many people have seen it, but my whole life is different because of it.
Wow, what an experience. Thank you so much for sharing us this information. This, wow, wonderful. And what's the shortest you have ever been involved in a project? Because you said this is like the longest, one of the longest. And the shortest, do you have like one?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on set, like, sometimes you'll do a day player role where you're on set for like 3 hours before lunch and then you're done. And they pay you for the day and you're out of there.
You're just like, and which one do you enjoy the most? The short, the medium, or the long?
I like the longer ones. I mean, you're just like more fully involved in the project, and you get to know all the people on set, and you kind of like fall into rhythms with each other and really have fun with each other. It's really cool.
Okay. And if you have to choose like the hardest of all your projects until now, it can be Bull Shark 2. Which one would you say, wow, that cost me a lot?
Probably also Ring by Spring. It was just really challenging. And then the length of the shoot was a challenge also because we didn't have like days off. It was like long enough that it was long, but not long enough that you could take a weekend. So it was just like 12-hour days for a long time. So that was a challenge in itself.
Wow. And do you have a project like is the easiest? Do you have one like didn't cost you at all? You're just like, hi, my name is Boom.
Yeah. Maybe of the ones that you've mentioned, maybe Men in Cars. That was a project I did a number of years ago, and I just kind of like rolled up on set. It was one of those I'm there for like 3-4 hours, and I just put on a newscaster voice and I talked, and then they were like, talk about shrimp. And so I talked about shrimp a little bit, and then they were like, awesome, you're done. And it was super fun and super short, and it ended up being a decent part of the film, which is cool, but it wasn't super taxing.
And when it comes to short films, they're just like improv or script. How is the usual method in short films? It's like a combination or
Yeah, it totally depends on the project and the director that you're working with. I've had some directors who are like, yep, take the lines and throw them out the window. I just want to see what you do with it. And then I've had some directors who would really like for their words to be said because they also wrote the short film, you know? And so it's just learning who you're working with and what the project is calling for.
and related to castings, to auditions, do you have one that pops to your mind like from time to time? Like, wow, I didn't get the part, or wow, I get the part. Do you have like one specific?
I mean, yeah, there are so many that I auditioned for that I'm like, no, I wish I could do that again. I mean, there's Bull Shark. I originally wasn't cast; somebody else was cast, and then they ended up calling me like the day before the shoot, and we're like, "Are you free tomorrow? Because we're gonna have you come and do this." And I was like, "Yes," because one of my dreams has always been to be killed in a shark movie. And so I was like, I will get out of school. I will get out of everything.
When it comes to this audition, how is your process? Do you just film? How would you do that before and after? What do you do before, like recording yourself, and after?
Yeah, if I have a little bit of extra time, I like to sit with the script for a day or two and just kind of like get the script in my head. And then like day of, I sit down with the lines while I do my makeup and my hair and the setup, and then memorize the lines. And then I FaceTime my mom. My mom is my dedicated reader, and she sits on FaceTime on a chair next to the camera, and we'll shoot sometimes like 5 auditions in a sitting. And then we're done, and then we sit and we chat and we gossip, and then I'm like, okay, I have to go now, and that's that.
Okay, wow. Thank you so much for giving us these splendid answers. And now we have to move to these hot takes. Would you like?
Hot takes, okay.
Okay, excellent. The first one is with actors, actresses. Julia Garner or Florence Pugh?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pugh or Anya Taylor-Joy?
Florence Pugh.
Austin Butler or Jacob Elordi?
Jacob Elordi.
Jacob Elordi or Timothée Chalamet?
Timothée Chalamet. I feel like Greta Gerwig's Little Women.
And do you have like a favorite actor, actress right now? It depends, it changes. How is that with you?
It's pretty, I mean, like, I have a lot of favorites, but my top 2 favorites have kind of been steady for a number of years. I really like Saoirse Ronan, who I mentioned earlier, and then Taron Egerton. He was in Rocketman.
What a wonderful choices. Saoirse Ronan, love her so much as well. Lady Bird, all of that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now related to genres, we have comedy or thriller.
Comedy.
Thriller or drama.
Drama.
drama or comedy?
Drama.
And do you have a favorite project that could be a good mix, maybe drama or comedy? Do you think drama and comedy mixed together, they could be good?
Yeah, I think the best dramas are funny and the best comedies are heartfelt, for sure.
Wow, I didn't notice that because a couple days ago I have this episode and the guest told me that, and I said yes, it's true.
It's true. Because if it's always heavy, then it gets exhausting, and if it's always funny, then does it like stick with you? You know, you have to have the mix.
And now we have to move to this Q&A. Would you love to?
Yeah.
Excellent. The first one is, what is something most people don't know about you?
I'm an open book, is the problem. Everyone knows everything about me. I guess that's my answer. I'll tell anybody anything. People know everything about me.
The other one is, have you ever Googled yourself?
Yeah. I'm lucky my name, I think I'm the only person with my name, so like everything pops up. I mean, like pictures of me when I'm in elementary school, and like obviously my website and my IMDb are, I think, the first things that pop up. But you can find everything about me on the internet because my name is so unique.
And have you met other person with your name? No?
No, I've met people like with the first name AEDIN, but none that are spelled like mine.
What is one TV show you can watch over and over?
I've watched Heartstopper upwards of 30 times.
And what is one TV show you can't watch?
This is controversial, but Sex in the City. Yeah.
What do you like to do in your spare time when you have?
I like to read, and I like to go on walks.
If you could meet any other famous person from the present or the past, which one would you love to meet?
Probably Marilyn Monroe. I'm in a Marilyn Monroe phase right now where I'm watching like all of her movies, and I think she's like, every time she has the kind of face where like every time you look at her it feels like you're looking at her for the first time. But I think she's so talented, and I think she would have such a cool story to tell too.
What is your biggest pet peeve, like right now?
Interrupting? Or you know what? Bad drivers. People who cut me off on the freeway.
What would you say is your biggest fear right now, this is 2025?
I have to move soon, so I'm like, moving anxiety, I guess. I'm staying in the Hollywood area, but like finding a new place to live and like roommates and what's the area going to be like and stuff like that. That's kind of taking over me right now.
Until now, what do you consider your biggest accomplishment?
I guess I graduated college. I was the first of my siblings to graduate college, so that was pretty cool.
What makes you laugh the most?
My best friend.
Which superpower would you love to have?
I've actually thought about this a lot. I want to have telekinesis because I think if you can get really good at telekinesis, you can do just about any other superpower.
A couple more, your favorite place in the US, inside?
Little Rock, Arkansas.
And outside, maybe you would love to visit?
Amsterdam.
The language you would love to learn, or you know another language besides English?
I speak a little bit of French, but I want to learn Spanish.
Spanish?
Yeah.
Oh wow, wonderful. Excellent. And do you know a few words? Hola, me llamo, something like that?
Yeah, hola, me llamo AEDIN. And then I say like, yo. Yeah, and that's all I know. I haven't been working at it very long.
Wonderful. And a final one, if you could give a piece of advice to your even younger self, which piece of advice would you love to give?
I'd just say, like, never stop working, keep working hard, Even when it feels like something's impossible, it never is. So keep trying.
And for the closure, do you have any other upcoming projects maybe you can share with us in case you can?
Yeah.
If not, it's okay.
I have two that I can talk about. The rehearsal that I'm going to after this is for a play called Menswear that my coworker and one of my best friends wrote. It's like a play based on the pilot of a show that he wrote. And we're premiering at Hollywood Fringe Festival in June. I think June 9th is our opening day. So we're pretty excited about that. It's like a comedy play about the dark side of the modeling industry, which is really fun. But it's also just us like being fools on stage for an hour, and it's really fun. It's a good group of people. And then the other project is a feature film that my mom wrote, but it's about her. She ran away at 18. She ran away to LA, and then basically wrote a movie about like her trying to become a star in LA and everything that happened in the 90s to a girl who wasn't really prepared to be living alone. And so it's autobiographical, and I'm playing my mom in a true story, which I think is like once in a lifetime kind of thing. I'm very excited for that.
And where can we find you in socials?
I'm on Instagram. It's my name, AEDIN WALDORF. And then I have a YouTube channel with nothing posted on it except my demo reel if you want to cast me. And that's about it. I don't really have anything else. Oh, I guess I have Facebook, but
Thank you so much for giving us this space. I am truly honored to have this chat with you. Send you a virtual hug. A couple days ago, a guest did something else, and I didn't reply. That's one. I can't. How?
it's your pointer finger that's bending.
Like this.
Yeah, there you go. We're almost there.
Okay.
Basically.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Have a good day.